So this is Steve with the SRP channel, and you're coming along with me on one of my service calls to repair some aluminum wiring. The customer reported that her lights were out intermittently, and that she was concerned, and she has aluminum wiring. I had not been to this customer's house before, and this is what I found. The fan was not working, and it was very easy to trace down. It was actually in the wall switch. So the problems usually occur in the outlets, not the wall switch. This one was one of the few cases, very few, that it happens in the wall. And it happened to be because two home runs begin at that switch, and that's created the issue for terminations. But most of the time, you'll be finding the shorts happening in the outlets. This is the torque screwdriver I like to use, the Proto. Also, of course, the Aluminicon connectors. So this switch here, totally burned up, obviously. So you have four wires total. Two of them would be the power going in, power going out. And so what I did is put a receptacle here, and I'm going to undo the wires in the wall, the staples, undo the staples. It just can be tricky depending on how far down they are. And then pull the wires down to here. And then splice in a wire here to go back up to here. And then from here up, I'm going to do another box like here for these two burnt wires. And that will just have a blank plate. Okay, so the panel, old panel, which is in the closet, which doesn't really affect the safety, just the convenience, is a GE panel, which is probably why it tripped as easily as it did, which is good, but it needs replaced, even though it's a good brand. I did make sure that the wire here, the feeder going over there, is on different phases so that it kind of bounces out the load coming back on the neutral. I'm going to tighten some other screws in here, but all these breakers need to replace. About half of them are oversized. Okay, the progress so far, got all the junctions made up, going to the two wires up above, kind of back up a little bit, and then have the copper Romex coming down. So there was two sets of wire, a 12-3 aluminum and a 12-2 aluminum. Both of those are rated at 15 amps, and so you want to use the same wire rating. So be copper, 14 gauge copper to connect those. Don't ever use 12 gauge copper. You really just 14 on these light circuits. I have Aluminicon connectors, all torqued down to 10 pounds. And I did use, for all the copper, two copper and an aluminum splices, a Ideal 65 purple wire nut. Okay, the outlet down below, we'd have a couple ways we could repair it or install the outlet. The first way is with the Leviton aluminum rated outlet. And this can actually have copper on there too, obviously, but especially aluminum. These have been around for a number of years, very reliable. This is good for lighting circuits. I don't tend to like to do these in kitchen, but for light circuits are great. And then hook these straight to the terminals here. The other would be to pigtail this into a copper using the Aluminicon's connectors, and then a standard outlet. I'm going to go ahead and just use the Leviton outlet. Okay, so the original plan was to take this, both of these wires coming from underneath, and junction it down here at that receptacle. But this wire did not cooperate and actually goes inside the wall about yay foot down or so. So shame on you, bad wire. So what I'm going to do is put a double gang box here, and I think with that space there, that will give me enough space on the wire there to get a good splice inside that box. Here's my helper. Meow. Bird, talk to a kitty. Meow. You have different color eyes. Do you? Oh my gosh. I added a little block in here. When everything gets put in, you're going to have this hole here that's going to be almost impossible to fill up. So just kind of be a buddy here, and then I put this at about a 6 inch. Yeah, about a 6 inch 2x4. It'd be optimal if it was a 1x4, but 2x4 is all I had. Okay, so the last repair would be this wire here, the aluminum. And you can see what I mean. It comes at the bottom of the box, but there's still enough to make up to the Aluminicon connectors there. I don't think it would have been if there's a single box. So that helped right there. I always make these up first before you do anything else, these short wires, just because it's going to make it a little easier to make sure that's done correctly. So everything else is just tied into the copper wire, which is, you know, all the standard wire nuts and so forth. But this is the repair part here. Okay, so we have a short in here, which is what happened last time. So when I hook, everything is on and works okay, but when I put the fan on, it shorts the circuit. And then on my meter, when I put it in resistance or continuity, from here to the ground, it shows continuity, which like a dead short. So it shouldn't be that way. So there's something in our little fan right over here. It did spark from it when we were trying to find the issues. So I'm gonna have to pull this down. Unfortunately, it's a surface mount, so you have to you don't have like a canopy you can pull down. You have to remove the whole fan. So a traditional fan, you could just drop the canopy down on the extension rod and check the junctions. On a surface mount fan, most of them you have to totally disassemble. So I have to remove the blades so that I can drop this canopy down far enough to get to the junction boxes. Still can't quite get to it. So everything looks fine up there. I'll redo these connections, but then I came down, and the blue's always for the light, and that should not be welded to the case of the fan. So I don't know. Probably my guess would be that that might not have anything to do with the short. That just might have been a wire that was actually had a little bare part on it, but that would definitely cause the dead short also. So I'll repair that and get that back in there. But you can see what I mean by on fans, you have to pretty much remove the whole fan on a surface mount. Okay, so before you go any further, this is kind of a little trick here. This will save you a lot of time. Plug the fan canopy like that into the wire harness, and it's going to work regardless you finish the fan. That way, if there's any problems, you would see it right now, as opposed to finish installing the entire fan, which on the surface mount you have to do. But the light works. Off, on. And motor. Of course, you don't want to run that without power that long, so that's kind of a little trick on that one. And of course, wait till you put all the wires back in until everything is figured out. But you can see that's pretty tight, even with there not being anything else in it. These Aluminicon connectors could take up quite a bit of space. That's why I always use the Super Duty or Super Blue Carlon blue boxes like that. They have a more wire fill. And then this here, you can actually get switch plates with blanks on them. So I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know in the comments also if there's anybody that has any ideas with aluminum that I didn't think of. I'm always open to new things, so please comment and leave feedback. So this is primarily what I do as a electrical contractor is aluminum repairs and preventative maintenance on it. And so I'm going to have quite a few more videos in the future. So subscribe, keep me in mind on future videos, and to help the YouTube algorithm, please like and subscribe.